But I like this, you know, it's so beautiful.
Faduma Farah has always had a passion for fashion. But after contracting meningitis, she ended up in a wheelchair and struggled to find clothing to suit her needs.
This is England 21st century. You expect everybody to be treated equal. And the disabled community has been forgotten completely.
She showed me the problem she'd had with clothing she'd bought on the high street in the past.
Tell me about what's wrong with some of these items then, why they don't work for you.
So I bought this blouse, and when I came home, it couldn't fit me. I mean, it's my size, don't get me. In fact, it's size bigger than me. But because of my movement and stuff like that, I had to snip it at the back here.
Just to give you a bit more movement?
Yes, to give me a bit more movement. The problem with the leggings is it has got seams. Thing is, this seam, when you sit on it, it marks you. It escalates sometimes to a bed sore.
Faduma decided to do something about it and teamed up with the Oxford Fashion Studio to find a designer to make adaptive wear, clothing not only suitable for wheelchair users, but that could also be marketed to all.
And then for the trousers, we've got the knee pleats that we talked about, so it shapes the knee really nicely.
Absolutely.
Flat seams, so I'll just stitch it, overlock it, so just know like as little fabric as possible.
And that designer was Harriet Eccleston, who despite being in the fashion industry for years, had never heard of adaptive fashion before.
I've never been sat in a lecture or a fitting or a design meeting and not one person in the room has ever said, hang on, there's about 20% of the UK population that potentially can't wear the clothes that we're designing or we're talking about. And that was a really shocking realisation.
So Harriet had to think carefully about her designs.
If you sat down all day, it's the thing like things like seams in the wrong places, they're rubbing, excess fabric when you're seated. You don't need a lot of fabric, you don't want to sit on fabric. It doesn't look great and it's definitely not comfortable.
Faduma and Harriet showcased their adaptive garments at last year's London Fashion Week. The first time a collection created specifically for wheelchair users has ever been shown.
The facings here, so don't want to feel restricted.
Absolutely.
Faduma is a woman on a mission. Her aim is to get Harriet's designs into high street stores, promoting inclusivity, adaptive fashion that can be worn by us all. Katherine Nash, 5 News.